What's going on, Opinions of the Mind YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being with me. If you haven't got a chance to yet in the previous videos, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know every single time that I come out with another video, hit that bell, ding ding. You will have me in your inbox every time that I actually release one of these. Hope you're having a great day. Today to me is all about focusing on one thing. Now, it's funny because the old me about 7-8 years ago, maybe even a little bit less, would have told you that no, it's possible for you to do more than one thing. And that may be true for you. But I had to figure it out, and I had to figure it out the hard way that that is not the case for myself. Why should you focus on one thing? Well, if you focus on one thing, you divide all of your actual efforts into one consistent momentum of getting one thing or one personalized accomplishment achieved at a time, right? So for so many years, I thought that it was, at my expense that people were saying I couldn't do more than one thing. So I would sit there and try to prove to do multiple things. What was my end goal? More income. And why did I want more income? Because I wanted to feel happier. I wanted to have better things in life. I wanted my family to be taken care of. And I wanted to be able to consistently give the effort that thing deserved in each different type of industry I was in, so that I could help more people and, get more, like I said, success. Well, what I ended up doing was I ended up actually cutting my legs out from under me. And what I mean by that is I started focusing on one thing and then another thing and then another thing, and then all of a sudden I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm somebody who has multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. Well, what I wasn't thinking about at the end of the day is I wasn't tracking my expenses, not correctly at least. I wasn't doing my taxes correctly. I wasn't paying attention to all of the money going out as I was money coming in. And at the very least, I had maybe a couple $100 per income, giving me my family and everything else I have, income for the household. And it made no sense, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that if I'm doing more than one thing, that I can handle it. And I want to make sure that the workload's not to where it's so much that it's over exalting my profit. It doesn't make sense on how my mindset was working for so long, but it was all about entitlement. And what that entitlement was I would want to be called an entrepreneur. I wanted to be known as somebody that did what they needed to, or did what they had to make their own income, their own money. And even though I had multiple streams of income and I had multiple responsibilities and multiple facets of business, none of it was consistent. And the funny thing is the moment, which was this past year, by the way, not very long ago, the moment I started finally listening to someone that said, do one thing, just do one thing, I finally got it. Now you'll get this too, because I'm going to say it in a way that I would have needed to hear it, okay? You ready? Because this is for you out there, Rodney, who thinks that you can do everything. And you can, by the way, guys. If this is you and you have a multiple way of doing things and, you're very, very to the T when it comes to your expenses and everything else, then maybe you can do more than one thing. But why do people want you to focus on one thing? First of all, the way that you're portrayed. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, you need an elevator speech, right? You need an elevator speech that's going to accomplish 1.5 minute, maybe 2 minute introduction of what you do. Well, if you're doing what I was doing, which is bartending, serving, doing parties on the side and entertainment promotional gigs, and also taking care of special needs individuals, and then on top of that, trying to run a mobile detailing company, and the list goes on and on. You have only that 1.5 minutes to tell somebody and catch their attention that they can use your service and they can be comfortable with you providing it to them. I never could do that. So I need somebody to tell me 3-4 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, like I said, hey, the reason you want to get good at one thing is because you want to be known for one thing for a little bit. And then once that one thing is up and going and you have systems for it and it can be taken care of on an automated basis to where you can hire individuals to go into each individual title that you need to head up that one thing in that one industry, then, my friend, you can take your leap and go to the next thing. Then guess what? You accomplished it. You got your title. You're an entrepreneur. You've taken care of business. You've taken care of your bills. You've taken care of everything that you need to as a man and as an individual. And now you can run multiple facets of business. Why? Because you needed a system. Why? Because you needed a process. Why? Because you needed time to get good at one thing. If you hear this and you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to have multiple forms of business, I get it. I was there and I am there. I'm not even venturing off into another thing besides real estate right now, except for maybe speech and, professional coaching, perhaps in speech and, public speaking, which is what I'd love to do, but it hasn't came across my plate yet. You get it though. You want to stick with that one thing until that one thing is built up enough to where it has that momentum of what you need it to do and what you want it to do. You want to focus like that on life. You want to focus like that on not just business. You want to treat it as if you want to lose 10 pounds, focus on running every morning. Focus on getting your nutrition correct, because you can never out-train a good diet. Remember that. And if you want to get good at business, you do what I said. And if you want to get good at being a better person, you focus on complimenting 10 people a day. You get it. The list goes on and on. And the reason you should do one thing isn't because of the fact that you're not capable of doing multiple things, but it's because that one thing needs a system before you move on to the other. It's as simple as that. And if I was told that years ago, I would have been very thankful for that individual's time, and I would have thought that they were actually listening. So this is Opinions of the Mind YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. And if this left you any kind of nugget in your brain, or if this gave you any kind of insight you didn't have before, drop it in the comments below. Let's help out other people at the same time. I love doing this. I show people all the time that I do this. I'm shameless about this because it helps me. And one day, if my family wants to see what kind of person I am, they can just go to youtube.com and click Opinions of the Mind. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next video.